Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. As you can see by the title and by the thumbnail, today we're going to be breaking down some film on Jessie Bates. And man, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy breaking film down on this dude right here, man. The very first play, you kind of see the essence of who he is in terms of a player. So there was a run play. Obviously, you see with Pittsburgh Steelers hand the ball off to Najee Harris, who's a big physical, fast, athletic running back. But he's coming down from a safety position, man. He's driving all the way from a safety position, free safety position, and coming down and making tackles in the backfield. That ain't something that you see a lot of safeties doing, man. Driving all the way from the safety position and coming back, coming down, going through the trenches and making a tackle in the backfield on a physical running back. And then the thing about it too, it's like he kind of saw it developing. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you kind of, it's like watching him play. You can tell that his instincts are next level. And I mean, instincts a lot of times is really just preparation, just kind of understanding formations and what the team like to run and knowing what you're looking at and having that confidence to say, okay, this is what I saw on film, and just allowing and being able to play play based off your instincts, based off the preparation. So on this play right here, one of the biggest things about being a safety, or either being a safety or a linebacker, is that you're kind of the quarterback of the defense in a sense. So you got to make sure that you're communicating what you're seeing and making sure that everybody's on the same page. So Pittsburgh tried to run like some type of little swing route where they got number 11 with the ball in space, and then you got two on two blockers. So you got a hat for a hat, but they just blow up the receivers. Well, for one, number 19 get blew up, but George Pickens just kind of did a halfway. I don't know what he was doing on that play right there, but Jessie Bates was able to recognize exactly what it was, and he reacted and was able to come down and make the tackle, man. Like I said, I don't understand what Pickens was doing on that play right there, what type of blocking that was. That's the level of blocking I've never seen before. But like I said, with Jessie Bates, man, he's like he's always a step ahead. You know what I mean? It's almost like he knows what the offense is doing, and he's just waiting for it to play out, kind of similar to what he did right here. But then also too, I do love the level of physicality from his end too, just being willing to go up against a receiver as big as George Pickens. All right, so right here we gotta have a situation. Then we down here in the red area. When you get in the red area, everything becomes so much tighter. Everything becomes so much condensed now because of the field is shortening. So they got a two-man concept, kind of similar to the play before this one right here. And like they end up getting man coverage on this matchup. So it like what they ran pretty much was just on the outside. They ran a vertical route with him, and then they did an outbreaking route with Devontae Smith. And Jessie Bates did a good job at being able to, just finishing the play. Initially, he had him right there. Boom, supposed to be a touchdown. But Jessie Bates didn't give up on the play, drove on the ball, got physical with his hands, and was able to dislodge the ball from Devontae Smith. So, I mean, that was just a good all-around effort, all the way, competing all the way through and up until the end of the play from Jessie Bates. A lot of guys sometimes, if that was to happen, they probably would have just been like, man, it is what it is. But with him, he made sure that he came in and attacked the ball. And that's something else I would say that I've noticed about him. He's very good at pinpointing the ball and making a play on it, whether it's this one right here with a pass deflection or it's some punch outs that we got later on in the video. He's very good at locating that ball and being able to make a play on it. All right, so right here, man, we got, I wouldn't necessarily say a gotta have it situation, but you would kind of like to have a situation. So score tied 22-21, 22 seconds left, 21 seconds left after that interception. Philadelphia obviously got one time out when they trying to drive the ball downfield, and Jessie Bates ended up coming up with an interception. So it looked like they might have been in a cover one because I seen man underneath it, and he just did a good job. But I'm pretty sure, but I wish that I can see, obviously by the broadcast version, by this being the broadcast version, I can't really see exactly like what it was that he was looking at or even doing. But 9 times out of 10, if anything, yeah, and I believe it was man coverage because I'm looking at the other safety. I mean, cover one, because if you look, the other safety drives down to pick up Saquon whenever he releases out the backfield. So I think Jessie Bates was sitting back as a single high. And I'm assuming that 9 times out of 10, all he did was probably just read Jalen Hurts' eyes. And when he saw Jalen Hurts cock back to throw the ball, he probably broke on it immediately and was able to get over there and get an interception to seal the game off. So that's just good ball hawking skills right there. All right, so right here we have a gotta have a situation of 3rd and 2, and more times than not, you pretty much know who that gotta have it guy is for Kansas City, and that's Travis Kelce. So Atlanta is in man coverage. If you look at Jessie Bates, he's kind of playing off coverage, but he's doing a good job at kind of trying to watch Mahomes and watching Kelce. So you know one of the things about Kelce, he's good at those option routes. You know, based off of how the defense plays him, it depends on the route they will run. Sometimes it depending on how they play him, he might release left. Sometimes he might release right, or sometimes he might just sit down in that little open space. So Jessie Bates did a good job at being disciplined with his eyes, kind of watching Mahomes as well as Kelce. And they actually got the completion, but he was able to drive down and dislodge the ball. He also does a very good job at sticking to the fundamentals right here on this play, because let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if Travis Kelce would have caught it and held on to it, he wouldn't have had no opportunity for yards after the catch, because Bates made sure that he had the tackle secured as he was coming in to dislodge the ball. And that's one of the things that when I talk about top defenses, though, that's a thing that a lot of people, I feel like, kind of overlook, is the ability to be able to make open field tackles such as this one right here, the ability to take a play that could have possibly been, man, who knows, 5, 10, 15, 20 yards, run after the catch and make it to just a 5-yard gain. To me, watching Jesse play is like a work of it's like poetry, if you want to be completely honest with you, man. Just the fact that like for me, my thing is I'm very big on hustle. I'm very big on effort. Effort is one of those things that you don't have to jump the highest to give effort. You don't have to be the fastest to give effort. You just have to actually try and love the game to give effort. So right here, you see that they had completed a pass to Chris Godwin, had some opportunities for yards after the catch. Bates just, kind of pursued him and was able to, catch him kind of lacking in a sense, because a lot of times if you watch film, you kind of can see how a lot of guys may be loose with the ball when running, or even him being who he is and just seeing that he's very good at these punch outs, that he's pretty good at analyzing, okay, look at how he's running with the ball. I have a shot. If I can come up behind him, or if somebody was to secure the tackle like right there, then I can come up and be able to punch the ball out just like how he did right there. So when you get turnovers, obviously, turnovers is the key centerpiece for, elite level defenses. But turnovers are important because when you get turnovers, you get your defense off the field for one, but then you bring your offense on the field, because the name of the game is to score points. That's how you win. So to be able to keep putting your offense on the field, to give them attempts to be able to score points, puts you in a much better situation in terms of being able to win a game. So right here, once again, you got another punch out. This was from the same game. So he ended up having 2 forced fumbles in this game alone. But like I say, once again, now this one they were able to recover. Now I'm going to show you something else too. Being that, looking at where they were at position wise on the field, it's a thing called hidden yardage. So hidden yardage could be yards gained from a punt return, yards gained from a kick return, yards gained from whenever the ball is kicked out of bounds on a kick return, they move you up. Those are all things, and off of turnovers, wherever you catch an interception, if it's not returned for a touchdown, but you return it and put your offense in a good field. So you take your offense. So say for instance, if like on a kickoff, we're gonna use that as an example, and if you field it in the end zone, and you fair catch it, whatever the case may be, you're going to be put at the 20-yard line, right? So you think about it, in order to score a touchdown, you're going to have to drive 80 yards down the field in order to be able to do that. So whenever you get turnovers and create turnovers and all those other things that applies to hidden yardage, now it takes stress off of your offense, because they're not having to drive the length of the field to try to score points. So once again, man, we got another turnover, man. This dude right here is a ball hawk, and he's a turnover machine. And I mean, he's doing it in all aspects. He's doing it from forcing fumbles, and he's doing it from making plays in terms of interceptions. And you see that right here on this play. They ended up running they ran a flea flicker. Now I'm not quite sure exactly what they were looking at Baker Mayfield on this play right here. I mean, because you kind of threw that up into like what you in double coverage, honestly, because you had a guy that was high of him and you had a guy who was low of him, and Jessie Bates just was underneath and was able to go up and get the interception. But he has phenomenal ball skills too. Just making this play, he turned into a receiver and went up and high pointed the ball. But then even in the interception in the Philadelphia game, where he had came across the field and got that pick to end the game, he made that as he was sliding on the ground. So man, that shows you that he does have phenomenal ball skills as a safety. Typically whenever you have defensive backs, they always like to say defensive backs are receivers that couldn't catch, so they just move them over to the defensive side of the ball. But I think he kills that myth. Once again, we got another gotta have it moment, 3rd and 3. They're actually down 21-6. The Atlanta Falcons are. So, like I said, another thing I'm looking at too is the fact that they're down and you still got, your captain of your team. He's still competing, and I feel like that boosts the morale of feeling like, okay, maybe we can come back and maybe we can win this game. Maybe we can make this game a little bit more competitive. But you see that Jessie Bates, because I think they were in man cover. It like they was in some type of zone. So, he pretty much was just sitting there watching Bo Nick's eyes. Like if you look at him, he's watching eyes, then he's looking at the tight end. The tight end kind of did like what Kels did, like he was on some type of option route where it just was based off of how the defense played him. That would have been his option. Like he had the option to possibly go left, he had the option to possibly go right. But you see right here, he just sat down right there. But Jessie Bates was watching the quarterback eyes and watching him and was able to make a play on the ball. And like I said, once again, he's very good at locating that ball and coming and making plays on it. All right, so we're going to end it off right here with this one, man. So it looked like they were showing, I was listening to the commentators as I was watching it, and they were saying that they were showing a man look pre-snap, and then post-snap, obviously they dropped back into their zones. So it looks like they were in a cover 3, meaning that they had 3 deep defenders. You had the safety, the middle field safety, and your 2 corners. They got back to their thirds, and then you had Bates. He just kind of sat down underneath in that little area right there. And honestly, man, if you watch him, he pretty much just, once again, now they did send a 5-man pressure, and I think I heard from the commentators, they were saying that that was the first time that they might have did it all night, and they did. So they did send a 5-man pressure, and they were able to get back there, and he was just trying to get rid of the ball, and Bates just watched him the whole time, man, and seeing where he was looking, like you even see him, he's eyeing that side, and Bates just watching his eyes, and it's like he almost broke before he even threw the ball. That's how sure he knew that's how sure he was that he was going to throw the ball to that receiver. Like I said, man, it's just watching Jessie Bates, man, I enjoyed this, man. This guy right here is just a playmaker, man. He's doing it in all aspects. He's doing it from tackling, he's doing it from interceptions, he's doing it from PBUs, which is pass breakups for those who don't know. He's doing it from forced fumbles. I mean, and one of the things too I look at is that he's very good with eye discipline and just kind of watching the quarterback eyes, and kind of I believe too that as well being eye discipline, but then also too I do believe that it's preparation. Like I say, man, you don't come out here and make these plays by accident like that. These plays that these guys are making, especially him that we're seeing, it wasn't made that day. A lot of these plays are made through preparation and just consistently working on your craft day in and day out. And you kind of just see that, like I said, it seems like he plays with a level of instincts. And when you have a guy that seems like he's more so just reacting to everything, it's like a reflex. It's not a reaction, it's a reflex. He knows what's coming before, in a sense, they know what's coming. You know what I mean? That's basically how he be playing it a lot of the times. But man, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, man, do me a big favor. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you got that notification bell turned on. That way you'll be notified every time I upload. And I'll see y'all in the next video.